when I first got this guy, one of the most fascinating rabbit holes I went down was the Industrial Revolution. And I know that sounds like the beginning of a really boring story, but just bear with me for 2 seconds. This is actually about the flour in your pantry and the bread that you buy at the grocery store. I think there was some really amazing things that happened because of the Industrial Revolution. And do I sometimes wish that I could just go back in time and live in the Ingalls house? Yes and no. Before the 1700s, if you wanted bread, you would grow your wheat on your farm. You would harvest wheat. You would take that wheat and you would bring it to the guy with the mill in town. And every town had one, or every adjacent cluster of town had them. And the mill was about the size of your kitchen, and it was powered by water. So it was on a river of some kind. He would take your wheat, he would mill your wheat for you, he'd give you your flour. And that flour that he gave you was alive, it was fresh, but it only lasted about 3 days before it would start to go rancid or get moldy and gross. If your wheat harvest failed and you didn't have any wheat that year, you didn't have bread. If the mill broke for some reason, you couldn't make bread. So you were just out of luck and oftentimes hungry and having to find a different way to get that kind of nutrients. Then in 1760, James Watt over in Europe made the steam engine work, and so now these mills that were previously powered by water could now be powered by steam, which meant that you could put them in more locations, they were much more reliable, and it meant that you could get flour from another few towns over because the steam train could bring them to you. So that made food a lot more mobile, which was pretty incredible. And then the mills came to America. And they came to America because this man named Samuel smuggled them here. He learned and studied the plans for how to build them and came here and, through his memory, built one in Rhode Island, which is, pretty impressive. England called him a traitor. America called him the father of the Industrial Revolution. So by the 1790s, America had mills. And I want the Ingalls house, the Ingalls yard, the Ingalls vibe, but I also want Target down the street, and I want the car to be able to get me to Target. And I know that the Industrial Revolution is what's made that all possible. So for that, I'm grateful. So something happened in Minnesota about 150 years ago that completely changed flour. And if you haven't heard about this yet, tune in for the next episode and I'll tell you more about it.